Okay, I actually just want to talk very briefly about what's happening with Travis Scott and his performance in Egypt. First of all, I'm not really sure why Travis Scott was supposed to perform in Egypt. Secondly, like I don't understand. I'm not really sure who this Travis Scott fans in Egypt are. Um, so here's a couple things to just put into context. First of all, like Egypt is an Arab country, and then Egypt is in Africa. But if it's not been very clear from all the stuff that's been happening with the Black Cleopatra, like they definitely don't identify with blackness. Um, but I wonder, some things become really interesting because it's like countries and places that do not identify with blackness seems to still like to consume misogynist hip hop, and especially in a place like in an Arab country like Egypt, um, misogyny is just so real. It's just widespread and real. So this is why I feel like even it's really interesting in like a lot of these like rap cultures and rap songs, you'll see all the rappers, they're always walking around with like some Arab guy. Like some Arab, like Drake is always with some Arab guy. You'll always see like black rappers and the Arabs seem to like be like this, right? And when you really think about it, like there's been obviously like because of 9/11 and like Muslim extremism, which is very real. Like there's not we're not people in America are not sitting here talking about like, you know, Arab extremism, and there's been, like there was like a Boston bomber who's also like a Muslim guy, and like so many people in Arab countries feel like the West has like occupied and taken their things, which I mean, I don't really know. I don't really pay too much attention to foreign affairs in a way where I could like understand historically what's happening. I know there's a ton of shit happening with like Israel and Palestine. I'm very confused. That just doesn't have anything to do with me. Like I'm not Arab. I'm not Palestinian. I'm not, just none of it has shit to do with me. So like I don't care. But like there's also like a ton of money. Like there's a ton of Arab people who have money. So I think the Arab countries, in the same as like the Black African countries, are struggling with this like monopoly situation where there's just people at the top who have all of the resources and everyone else has nothing. And so the people who have nothing they like to blame things on America, which is just like America is a country that has created a democracy where like you can work and establish like your own basically like life and philosophy, and it could be of a particular religion, like if you are Islam or if you are Buddhist or whatever, Christian, whatever. You could like just like your religious background is not going to it shouldn't really inhibit your ability to build a successful life for yourself here, and that doesn't exist in a lot of other parts of the world, which is the wonderful part about a democracy. But that's not what's happening in Egypt, right? And so basically Egypt made a statement where they have canceled the Travis Scott show that was scheduled to be there, because they basically said that his music doesn't align with their values. Now this makes sense, but these types of things are actually happening in a few African countries where like I feel like it was Uganda that basically banned homosexuality marriages or something, or like you can't travel there if you're gay. So they just did a lot of they're making laws that have to do with like anti homosexuality, and then they're making uh okay, so I think it was the president of Tunisia or something went on, maybe it wasn't the president of Tunisia, it was somewhere else, but he went to I don't know why I keep saying Uganda. I think it's because I'm like following this like Ugandan influencer right now, and I've just been watching a lot of her content about her village. Um, but I think he did. He met with the Ugandan president. He was basically like, "Our values align." No, I think it was the. I can't remember. I'll try to find the video and put it in the description box. But basically, the president goes to one of the like black African countries and was basically like, hey, I just want to let you know that like our values are very aligned because like we believe in family values and we need to make a stand and stand for this because this is something that the West does not believe in. And now, what does all of this have to do with Travis Scott and his performance in Egypt? Well, basically, I don't listen to Travis Scott music. Like, and it's because, like, for me, I really try to, like, listen to artists that I feel like I relate to in some way, which is why I always try to, like, lift up female songwriters, just female experiences, right? Like, I am a female. I'm a black female, but also I'm just not like an urban black female. So, like, you won't listen. I like the Mona Leo album just because she wrote it basically, but I don't relate to it, right? Like my experiences and her experiences are not very similar. So, I gave it one play. I shared what I thought of it, but then I put it down. Like all of those rappers that pretty much everyone who I made that short little series about, where there's like the three women or whatever, and I was like, oh, these women are similar, these women are not similar. I actually wouldn't categorize myself in any of those groups. And that's another reason why I have this channel. I don't actually know. I don't feel like there's a particular category that is describing the type of woman that like I am. Which is why I feel like a better way to demonstrate that would just be to come on here and like share my opinions about a whole bunch of different topics, because I'm when I say I'm a moderate, I really mean that. Just because like on most issues I don't land on this extreme side where I'm like, oh yeah, all this way or all that way or all pro or like all against. I will say though, on a lot of the issues that have to do with like homosexuality, I gotta say, like, I do think that those issues might be destroying Western society in some pretty like serious ways. Like the the family, even though maybe it's been broken in a lot of ways, has been the backbone of this society, and really all societies, and will continue to be. And if that is broken, you have so many issues. But I will say that outside of the family, something also that has been very, very successful is this idea of independence. And I don't want to like downplay that, because I feel like we just haven't really seen that anywhere else working quite like it is actually working here, where there are people who are just taking care of themselves. And like those people too are making the economy run. Like I'm not talking about like a broken family, the split family, the, abusive family, nothing like that. I'm literally just talking about people like me, people who just go out in society and we work and we use our money to like pay our rent and go eat dinner and just live in the world. Okay, that's a real experience that like is available to others, and is just real. So I just think that like it's really important to like not downplay that. And so let's go back to Travis Scott for a moment. I think the issue with Travis Scott and really a lot of the Black American rappers, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for them to rap about their experiences and to share their experiences. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But here's a funny thing, like other people in other cultures, like um we'll say like white American culture, whatever it was, listening to artists like, Kanye West, Travis Scott, whoever the new artists are, right? They're not actually living the lives that those rappers are rapping about. They're just getting to like they're getting like a window glimpse into what that life is, while also kind of like learning from it and understanding how not to be in it. But you have to remember, like, Travis Scott is one black male. He's also not a monolith. Like, he's not really representative of the black community in general. He's representative of wherever his micro community is. Like, I really don't understand. First of all, like, I don't live in Calabasas. Like, I don't even follow really any of the Jenner, the Kylie Kardashians, right? I don't know wherever he was before that, what he was writing about. Like, I just don't fucking know. Like, really, that entire story, I feel like I missed it. I was living in another part of the society that just had nothing to do with that. And I think that's also important too. This is another reason why representation is just so fucking critical. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a Travis Scott song. I think he was on one SZA song. That's why, like, I know who he is because I think she put him in his video. Besides that, like, I don't know. I don't listen to any Travis Scott anything. I've never heard a song. I will say when the few things I have heard about Travis Scott, like when I saw the image of him, I just knew immediately like he wouldn't be the type of rapper that I would be interested in. He has like the girly hairstyle. Like, I'm sorry, I stick to what I said. I made another video about this, but all the rappers who have like they do like they're like black male rappers who are wearing black female little girl hairstyles. That's just very strange. Like, that's weird. Like, French rolls and corn rolls and all that shit, those are like traditional black girl, African girl hairstyles. Bantu knots, all that shit. Those are like traditional black girl hairstyles, and I'm not sure why grown ass men are out here trying to be little black girls. That's fucking weird. Another thing that's weird, it seems like, from what I understand, other people who critique his music continue to say that he makes like demonic plague songs, and that's probably true. I don't know. Like, I don't listen to like demon music, so I wouldn't really know. But I do know that what's his face? There's so many of the black rappers actually look like real demons. And all I would say is like, what's her face? Karina Lude actually made a video where she was talking about how like a lot of people in Haiti actually practice like demonic things where they like drink blood and sacrifice babies and shit and are real vampires and things like that. And like, they're not joking about that. They actually like do that shit. And I think that like she made a point which is like, well, this is why she said, this is why when I'm talking about I stay on the godly side and like I walk with God. And I think that's true. I feel like I walk on earth and I continue to feel like this. Like, my feet are on the fucking ground. I live in the real world. I'm not like extremely godly. I'm not extremely satanic. Like, neither one of those things I believe in. I simply believe that I am a mortal human and one day I will die, but I am alive right now. That's what I believe. That's what I know to be true. I also know that like tribalism, racism, classism, and capitalism are extremely real, and those things wear me the fuck down every fucking day. And somehow, some way, I manage to like keep going, and really, a lot of the time, it fucking surprises me. I don't know how I keep going after dealing with all that shit because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I get tired. I'm like, fuck. It's almost like too much. Like, I don't want to deal with this. But also, do I really have a choice? Do any of us really have a choice? Probably not. Like, welcome to adulthood. This is why I'll put the link in the description box why I keep covering 26. It's just really a great song that's about the morbidness, the honesty of being alive. It's very hard.